What's up, YouTubers? Just want to make a short little video on how to bug out overseas. Like, how much money do you need? Can you really start a new life for the price of an airplane ticket and a couple $100? And what do I think? Should you do it or not? Well, mostly I recommend for most people to have 5 or 10,000 saved, because overseas you can live on 500 to $1,000 a month. Let's say on average, if you're in Asia or Latin America and you're in a low-cost region, it's about 800 a month. Um, In the Philippines, I've lived from 500-600 a month to 1,200 a month. In Guatemala, I've lived 500-600 bucks a month to like 8 to 1,200 a month. If I'm traveling, it just depends. When I quote these lower numbers, I'm talking about if you have an apartment, you're not an expensive apartment, a cheaper apartment, and I'm talking usually you're staying in one place. You're not really traveling around much, except for maybe on the weekends. Anyways, some people ask me, well, how much do you need? What's a cheap way to do it? And um, things I need to do to prepare. Like, what can I do to earn money overseas, that kind of thing. Well, I can tell you what some of my friends have done, and what I've done. One of my friends went to Southeast Asia. One went to Vietnam. Another went to Cambodia. Another's in Thailand. Quite a few are in China. But and some of them who went to Asia started out in Latin America, like in Peru or Guatemala. But one thing they've all done at one time or another is teach English, and that's kind of a controversial subject. Usually, do I need a high school or do I need a college degree? Do I need a TOEFL? Most of the time, if you want a visa, you need a college degree and probably TOEFL. TOEFL isn't as important. The only reason I bring up TOEFL is because that's what Americans usually get. Europeans usually get that Cambridge thing, I think it's called. I forget what it is, but it's a little bit tougher to get, apparently. Anyways, what I would recommend if you're going to go that route and you don't have a college degree, yes, you can still do it. I know quite a few people do it in Vietnam, Cambodia, even in places like Thailand and China. Now, you're hearing through the grapevine that China's cracking down in Thailand. That's true, but it's also true you can get a visa that's not a teacher's visa. You'll be teaching English, but you're not applying for a teacher's visa. And I don't want to get too complicated in this, but that's why I don't like talking about this too much, because some people are going to get pissed off and say you need a college degree. Technically, in one hand, that's true, but you can get like a teacher's assistant visa. I'm not exactly sure what they're called, but they get you a visa that's not a teaching degree visa, where you don't really have to have a college diploma. Excuse me. Another thing to keep in mind about China and like Thailand, some of these Asian countries, not always, but they're usually run by bureaucrats and bureaucracies. And what's happening in one part of the country may not be happening in another. In other words, the rules may not be enforced, or even the laws for that matter. Also, too, when governments change their policies, they're slow to change, and a lot of times in one part of the country they don't even know they've changed. So you can get in there and you can get your work visa and whatnot without necessarily having a college degree. But my video isn't specifically how to do that and who to talk to, although if you get on forums like on Facebook forums, that's the best way to start. Here's what my friend did. He went to Southeast Asia. He got on a bunch of forums for the country he wanted to go in. For example, if you want to go to Vietnam, go to Google Vietnamese forums for teaching English. Same thing with Thailand. Same thing with Cambodia. He saved up enough money for his ticket, and he had a couple $100 in his pocket. My other friend, believe it or not, that's all he had. My other friend had a couple thousand. What they both did this in common is they flew there. They got a cheap hotel for $10 a night. Get them for 5 to 20 in those countries. If you're willing to spend 10 to 20, you're going to get a much nicer hotel. That's not like a youth hostel. I'm talking like your own private room, bathroom, and that kind of thing. If you want to share a bathroom and you want a bunk, that's quite a bit cheaper, or it can be cheaper. Not always cheaper in Latin America. In Asia, it can be cheaper. But for like 7, 8, 9, $10 a night, you can get your own bathroom and room and whatnot. That's what I would do, and I'd have like a couple weeks expenses for that, or even a month, which $200 is kind of iffy. But here's what they both did: they flew there, They got there. They both had a TOEFL. In their cases, when they applied to a lot of different schools, they didn't really care. That's another politically incorrect thing you have to say. They really don't care. Some of the really top-notch schools say they do on their websites, but when you're actually there, they don't even want to look at it. But I do suggest you get it to build up your confidence to learn how to teach. And they have the credential in case you actually need it or it really matters. But for visas, they don't really matter. And for getting jobs, they don't really matter that much. What matters the most for getting an English teaching job is experience. Proving you have the experience and relevant experience if you don't have it. Like if you work with a lot of immigrants, in your country and things like that. Stuff like that. And it depends what your background. And if you have a background in a medical or nursing or doctoring, things like that, or you have a background in investment, stuff like that can make a difference in getting hired or not. But usually they just want warm bodies. And one more thing, both my friends are dudes, men, and older men, 30s, 40s. So for people in their 40s or 50s or 60s, you can get a teaching job. There is discrimination in Asia against people who are non-white or who are not young ladies, older guys. But nevertheless, you can get a teaching job. I know guys in their 50s and 60s who get them, and they don't even try that hard, to be blunt. All they have is a TOEFL. Some don't have a TOEFL, but most of these guys I know, they don't have any college degree, and they've all gotten, well, not all of them, but all of them that needed residency, they got it, or a legal status to teach English. I don't want to get into teaching English under the table. That's your thing. I don't really recommend it, but it used to be until about a month ago you could teach English in Cambodia without really. You just got the business visa. That's all changed now. Now you need, I think, a 6-month visa. And since all these details haven't been confirmed yet by people actually doing it, and do I know live there, I'm not sure. I'm just speculating. But they say you pay tax and get a 6-month visa, whereas before you didn't have to do that. Anyways, $200 to a couple $1,000. What I would do if I was going to go that route, I really wanted to get out of the States, I would save up a couple $1,000. I personally would have 5 or 10,000 in trading accounts. That's my side gig. It's what I do. I would get a job teaching English, and if I wanted to save a lot of money, which is still of interest to me, not everyone, but if you want to save a few bucks if you're broke, get over there, learn to live on $500 or $600 a month because you're going to get paid $1,000 to $1,200 a month. That's not really high, but those are the entry-level wages for people without a lot of experience. I would save it half my money, and I'd do my side gig. My side gig is trading, so I'd build up my trading accounts. But if I did not want to do that, if I just want to save a few $500 or whatever, then I would just use my savings, 5 or 10,000 before I left to start trading. I trade on exchanges. I also trade just through a brokerage account. But my goal would be, if I was going to live, when I do live overseas, if I'm teaching English, which I don't, but if I did, I do my side gig, just to build up capital, just to have money for your next move in life, and just so you can have money when you come back to the States. I don't think, if you're highly motivated and you're willing to manage your risk, I don't think it's unrealistic to go over with 500 to $1,000. I know some people don't really recommend it, but if you're highly motivated, if you're willing to pound the streets, if you're willing to bang out a really good resume, and you're willing to press the flesh, take chances, you're not shy about it, introduce yourself, put yourself out there, get on the forums of that country on Facebook, you will get a job. My friends have gotten jobs in basically 2 days. Ladies coming with the post office. Anyways, hold on a second. All right, I'm back. Just getting the mail. Anyways, what I was saying was, the guys and gals too, women I know, they've basically flown in 2 or 3 days, gotten a job. I don't particularly recommend that if you've never lived out of the country and you're going somewhere way out of your comfort zone. I recommend taking a couple weeks to a month to get used to where you're living, make some friends, see some sights, just see if you like it. You may not like it. You may just want to get on the airplane and fly home. But if you're really worried about it, number one, get a TOEFL. Get the TOEFL, the cheap ones. You can spend $2,500. I don't recommend it because I don't think they're really necessary. Most of my friends who've done this in Latin America and Asia, they've gotten the TOEFL and they didn't really need it. Didn't really matter. They didn't. Schools just don't care about it. The biggest thing they really care about is having a college degree to get your visa, especially in Latin America. So get the cheapest TOEFL you can. You can get the online ones where you just study so many hours and you just get it for a couple $100. That's what I recommend. If you want to really learn hands-on experience, you want to spend $2,500 like in Latin America, Southeast Asia, you can do that too. It's up to you, but just how I look at the world, and that's a lot of money. You can use that for your side gig and get a better return on your capital, and just in my opinion. I'm not sure it really helps you teach the skills you need to teach people how to teach English, but other people differ, so it's up to you. So just make sure you have the TOEFL, you have the price of the airplane ticket, do some research before you go so you know where to land, get a hotel, like what country you want to go to, where you might fit in. Me, I'm not much into Thailand as much, but a lot of my friends live there. I know people that live there. I'm more into the pioneering countries like Cambodia and the Philippines. In Latin America, I like Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador. Anyways, just decide where you want to live. I prefer to have enough money to live there 1 month just to see if I like the place or not. But anyways, if you're flying into Southeast Asia, it's really easy to get a job there. Expect at the low end maybe $800 or $900 a month. A little higher, 1,200. These are the low end jobs. If you don't have a college degree, you don't have experience, you're just starting out. Go to the school. Do whatever you have to do to teach. Live within your means. Save some money so you have some money to get back. Save money to start your side gig. That's what I do. I always have a side gig, so you have money for whatever the next move you're going to have in life, and that's what I would do. If you can and you're more hesitant, you don't like to manage the risk as much, I recommend saving 500 or 5,000 to 10,000. Anything maybe over 10,000 is a little bit too much, but if you have 10,000 in your bank plus you have the price of your airplane ticket, you can come back if you don't like it. The way I trade, I can make enough money from a $10,000 or $20,000 account to pay my basic bills. That's just what I do. Another thing is if you just want to live cheap overseas, you can just live cheap overseas and work on your side gig there, or Latin America for that matter. But this is just for people who want to get out fast, don't want to save a lot of money. In fact, some people I know, they just borrow money on their credit card. They just get the airplane ticket and go over there, figure out a way to get a money order to send money back to the bank, to pay back the credit card. You can do that too if you want. Just wire some money back and pay back your airplane ticket. I wouldn't do that. That's I like to have a credit card, for emergencies and things like that. Anyways, that's the low end. If you want to expat really, really cheap, just get a TOEFL, fly to Southeast Asia, just get an entry-level job, work your way up, have a side hustle you can save some, more money on, and if you like it, just keep doing it. If you don't. But you don't need to live in a miserable job or life situation if you don't really like living in the States, and you don't really need nowadays with the way things are. You don't need a lot of capital to go overseas. In fact, if you prepare and plan before you leave, like write some ebooks, get some income that way, get your investment, or I trade on exchanges and I have an investment account. If you get some income going that way before you even leave, then it's not as important to get a teaching job right when you get there. But I like to have some savings. I like to save money every month, so that's what I do. If I didn't have a lot of money, I want to expat really cheap. All right, like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, tell me what you think. Bye.